Geronimo, Stilton. Watch your whiskers, Stilton. Dear mouse friends, welcome to the words of Geronimo, Stilton. The Roaring Rat. It was a sunny July morning. The sun was so hot you could grill a cheese sandwich on the sidewalk. I went to have breakfast at the corner dinner. I ordered a cheese dish and coffee. Then I went to the newsstand. I want to get a freshest fruited coffee of my newspaper. Oh, but I haven't told you yet. My name is Stilton, Geronimo Stilton. I run the Rodent's Jettled. It's the most popular newspaper here on Mouse Island. As I was saying, I went to get a copy of my newspaper. But something unusual was going on. I could not find a copy of the paper, not a single one. I was so puzzled. I had to ask the news dealer about it. Excuse me, Inky Pals, I said. I am looking for my usual copy of the Rodent's Gazette. Inky Pals looked uncomfortable. He stretched his wrists cold. I don't have one, he said. Now I have an even more puzzle. Why not? Are you sold out? Inky Pals shook his head. He stared at his pals. Mr. Stilton, the truth is I do not sell the Rodent's Jettle anymore. He blurted out. I couldn't believe my big mouse ear. Since when? Inky Pals pointed to the piles of newspapers. They all had the same title on the mast, A Roaring Cat. A one-eyed rat came by this morning, he explained. He offered me and bought the Roaring Cat. Then he took away all the copies of the Rodent's Jettle. I stared at Inky Pals, unable to speak. I'm sorry, Mr. Stilton, Inky Pals said. Business is business. He waved a check in front of my snout. It was from the Roaring Cat, and it has more zeros than it hung Swiss as whole. I hurried to the office and as fast as my pals could take me. I had to find out what was going on. But this was not a usual morning. My latest book was not in the window. I ran inside. I scratched high and low, but I could not find my single book. Like my company, Stilton pursued. Instead, all of the books came from a new. At that moment, the phone rang. I answered it. Hello, is this Stilton? Geronimo Stilton. It was Aunt Sweetus, my favorite auntie. When I was a little mouselet, he read bedtime stories to me. Jack and the Cheese Stick, Snow Red and the 7 Mice, Little Red Riding Hood, all of the great myths. I have some bad news for you, Aunt Sweetfur began. Dreadful news. I don't know how to put this. It's about Grandfather Willem. A shiver ran through my soul. Everyone is afraid of my grandfather Willem short pals. Also known as Chipmouse Willie, he is the founder of the Rodent's Jettle. He thinks nobody knows how to run a newspaper, but him, Aunt Swiffer, told me truth, I said. Is Grandfather William ill? A loud voice roared on the other end the phone. Fat chance! It was Grandfather William. I'm feeling fine, grandson, but you had better do something right now to save the company. If you don't, I am coming back to take over Stilton. The phone rang again. This time it was Leona Mr. Mouse. She is the owner of 70 Swiss Cheese Center. She is very rich, but she has to spend any money. She reminds me of Grandfather William. Good morning, Mr. Stilton. Leona began. She sounded nervous. I'm afraid I must ask you to leave the building. This morning, a one-eyed rat offered me an enormous amount of money to rent out your office. I felt like I had been hit by a cheese truck. What? Leona Mr. Mouse. When you get right down to it, double your officer, and I can start right now. Where's my office? Ah, that way. I goes as much. I'll be right back. Before I could think, Shifty grabbed the blue cheese from Mousela. Blue cheese, my favorite! He squeaked. Then he turned and ran out of my office. What's your whiskers? Here comes Shifty Paws. I'm running the show here now. So move your tails, everyone. That Shifty Paws in a born sales mouse, Mousela whispered. Do you think so? I asked. I really wasn't sure. Come on, it's selling time. 30 seconds later, the door flew open again. I jumped. Shifty Paws was back. He walked on my desks. He took a microphone out of his jacket. Then he began to squeak orders at my staff. We need to sell. Get it? He shouted. Sell! He paused. Then he announced his plan. 50 target. Bitches! Rather than getting their fourth 10 need to read too. 6 target. Movie theater. We will sell to rodents as they come and go to the movies. Shifty's eyes shone behind his glasses. Are you all with me? Come on, it's selling time, he yelled. The staff was stilled for a moment. They looked at one another. Everyone chilled. Then Shifty suddenly looked upset. Krusty, keep fed, Shifty skirt. I lost my favorite cell phone. The sales mouse ran out of room. He stepped forward. I want to inspire my staff the way Shifty Paws had. But a cry rang out. What's your whiskers, Shifty Paws, in here? When drivers stopped at the red light, I would shout, Papers! Get the latest news fresh off the press. Cheese nuggets. I had a tooth time. It was so hot that all of the drivers had their air conditioners on and their windows shut. I tried pushing the books for sale. Nothing beats a good book hot summer day, but only a few people stopped to buy anything. The day dragged on. It got hotter and hotter. My whole bed fried, and I had forgotten to put sunscreen on my snowsuit. I felt like giving up, but was about to walk away when along Nancy car pulled up. Riding in the back were several family mice. I resumed one of them, a snobby Mr. Edwards Smuggart. I heard Mr. Smuggart whisper, "Isn't that Geronimo Stilton?" "Oh, it's him. All right," one of her friends replied. "Can you believe it?" Mr. Smuggart hadn't a large coin to her. "Good luck, Stilton," admitted. I squeaked weakly. "Stay calm, Geronimo," I told myself. "Do it for the rodent's charity." The rat spilled my tail under the spring in the trap. They put my paws in chains. Now it was definitely too late to turn back. Bled Turner tail came out holding a microphone. "Meet tonight's big time. I mean, contestant Mr. Geronimo Stilton from New Mouse City. Mind your tail, Stilton." I studied the members of the game show jury. They had such strange names and spooky snouts. Tail glared at me. "Tell us, Mr. Stilton, what do you do for a living?" I cleared my throat. I am a publisher and an author. I run the most popular newspaper in New Mouse City, the Rodents Jerk. The game show host snickered. "I have heard that business is not so good lately, Mr. Stilton," he said. "Is that why you are playing our little game? Do you need the money?" I blushed. What kind of the question was that? I looked at Shifty Paws. He gave me 2 thumbs up and mouthed the words $1 million. I felt a little more confident. "The reason I am playing this game is solely personal," I answered. "I'll prepare to keep it to myself, if you don't mind." Let's move on to the question. You know by now that's a wrong answer will raise the spring on the mouse. When you trap balls, it will pinch your tail or even chop it off. I could feel the excitement in the room begin to recede. The assailant was on the edge of their seats. I looked into control room and saw the director rubbing his paws together with glue. I realized that the rating were probably going up. Everyone rodent on Mouse Island was probably turned in to see me lose my tail. The jury booed me once more. Then they began to mutter among themselves. "These questions are much too easy. They promise us blood, but so far they hadn't even pitched his tail." What is the name of the illiterate writer who wrote the famous book Dracula in 1897? Bread monster, I answered immediately. Tail mumbled under his whisker. Correct. The jury shouted. Turner cleared his throat. The last question is worth $1 million, he said. No rodent has ever answered the final question correct before. It has 5 parts. Who wrote the novel Stone? When was the novel written and why? When was the author born and why did the author die? What is the name of the mad scientist who created the monster? Where does the action take place? You have 1 minute to give your answer, Mr. Stilton. This question was harder than a block steel cheater. The drum pounced in my ear. Dum, dum, dum. As the head of the possibly company, I know a lot of books, but if I make even one mistake, it was now or ever, never. I shout out the answer. The novel Stilton was written by Lady Ursula Shelley. She was born in 1797 and died in 1851. The studio went totally quietly. The drumming stopped. The answer to the final question is correct. Tail choked on the last words. The audience chilled. The jury tiptoes raised up to me and toilet with a warm upset. That's right, I shouted. I've seen the ads for Party House Toilet. I picked up the phone to give him a call. Then I changed my mind. I want to go talk to him snout to snout, I said. Then I called a taxi to take me to 170 Swiss Cheese Center. That used to be the address of the rodent's jettle. Now it was the home of the roaring rat. But not for long, I promised myself. I had my tail, I had my step, I had $1 million. That Flosher Potty House had better watch out. I rang the doorbell at 17 Swiss Cheese Center. Let me in, I said perceptibly. My name is Stilton, Geronimo Stilton. The door buzzed open. A one-eyed rat sat behind the desk. He wore a black patch on his other eye. It made him look like some kind of pirate. He wore a striped shirt and a shirt the color of American cheese. Toddy Fowls kept robbing. I never went to college, he said, weeping. I'm a self-made mouse. I want to have a possible company. I thought all you had to was pay for it. But I was wrong. I walked up to him and put a paw on his shoulder. Cheer up, I said. You do do not have a newspaper. The Roaring Red. Potty Paws opened a drawer in his desk. He took out some papers filled with numbers. Take a look at this, he said. The newsdealers are returning all of my newspapers. The bookstores are returning all of my books. The readers only want the Roden Skeleton and Stilton First Building. Potty Paws standing in the corner. He looked like he was going to cry again. Shifty Paws must have noticed it too. He ran Shifty up to me, his eyes glittering with excitement. Up to me, his eyes glittering with excitement. Stilton, I have a brilliant idea, he said. When you get right down to it, why you don't too often a possible house together? Potty Paws brightened up. I love it, and I have a great idea for a name. We can call it Toilet Art. That's not bad, I say, trying to be nice, but maybe we should go with a more classic name like Fort Red Art. Great, Ponytail cried. He crushed me a tight hug. I have a possible house too, me peaceful Pony Paws. The crowd stared up at him, bewildered. He called Fort Red Art, he continued. I don't want to brag, but we talk high literature here. The crowd was silent for a moment. They all shout, yes, hurrah for Fletcher Pony Paws, hurrah for First or Red Art. Make a note of that, scramble sketch. The next morning, I saw the new sign on the door of 17th Street Cheese Center. Pony Paws was already seated in his new office, right next to mine. He was giving some notes to his secretary. He is a gray rodent with a beetle head and thick legs. Art! Yes, art! Pony Paws was saying. Scratch was quickly write down everything Pony Paws said. Art, yes, art, the scarlet mumbled. The skeptic mumbled. Just then, my Glover Kutcher, Constantin, walked past the office. He is Mousin Ben Ritter, the uncle of my assistant editor, Pinky Pink. Have you met Mousia? Mousia stopped in the doorway. Excuse me, but I believe that all art should always have a capital A, he said in a thundering voice. 6 months later, I heard car horn outside my home. It was 7 o'clock at night. I looked out the window. A line mouse in the color of cheese was parking on the street. A mouse wearing a striped suit was leaning out the window. It was Fletcher Pony Paws. Of course! Come on down, Stilton. It's late, he called up. It's time for the exhibit for impossible paintings. And after that, there's the room music concert. I went downstairs and got in the car. I hope you don't mind me correcting you, I squeaked, but the paintings are called impossible, not impossible. And it's chamber music, not room music. Pony Paws raised his bushy eyebrows. Dancing flungers. I did not know that, he thundered. Then he shouted to his secretary in front seat, "Make a note of that." "Right away, sir," Scrappy said. Ponytail's got a dreamy look on his face. "I could print the whole disc and a single roll of toilet paper. That way you can read it one piece at a time. Tearing off a piece you go. We could get a toilet paper Danny to sponsor us." "Maybe. What do you think?" Before I could answer, he roared at his secretary. "Make a note," was that scribble scratch. Ponytails turned back to me. "So what do you think, partner?" I didn't want to tell Ponytails what I really do. A stinky idea. Think about it, I say. Kathleen is original." Just then, I heard a cry. "Watch your Whiskers! Here comes Thrifty Pals!" This time, I scurried out of the way as best as I could. The door opened and missed me. "Hey there, Stilton," Thrifty said, stroking my fowl. "It's been great working with you, too," Thrifty said, smiling. I really meant it. Everything had turned out fine thanks to Thrifty Pals.